Welcome back to United Kennel Club Premier's live stage. I'm Stan, and here with me again is Nicole Sedlicki.
Thank you, Stan. I'm so excited to be here for virtual premiere. Thank you to everyone who sent in their videos for the Total Dog Challenge. We are now at our herding group with the largest entry of 39 dogs.
That's wonderful. Our herding dogs are evolved from breeds that were trained to herd livestock. They would take flocks of sheep, goats, cows, and herd them in a specific direction.
For like farmers and
Right.
guardians and things like that. Do they teach them how to herd? Like how did these dogs just do it on their own, don't
They naturally do it, and it's like repetition. The older dogs teach the younger dogs, and it's progression.
Yeah, and it's a large group, and they're very popular breeds that you see.
And they're probably one of the more intelligent breeds because they're trained, or they're naturally instinctive. Their natural instinct is to work with man.
Yeah. Our herding group judge today is Tracy Doty of North Carolina. And let's get started. It's a big group, so let's start watching. All right, our first dog in the herding group is Cardigan Welsh Corgi 602, Torwin's Remy of Roland Oaks. Remy is owned by Annette Hurst of Georgia.
There's another kind of Corgi. What is it?
All of these quizzes. The Pembroke.
And what's the difference?
Well, the main difference is having a dock tail. You know,
Having a tail, absolutely.
Cardigans, I always remember Cardigan because like you have a little extra something over your shoulders. They have a little extra with having a tail. There are a few other differences though with the breeds. Cardigans have a wider head.
Correct.
A little bit bigger body.
Both excellent cattle dogs, sheep dogs.
Oh, they will herd anything.
They actually herd kids.
We have a couple Corgis at the office at work, and they herd all the other dogs in the play yard.
It's interesting to watch them because it could become so natural for them.
Remy, we live at the first house on the road, and Remy is our neighborhood watch. She monitors every car entering our neighborhood and approves or disapproves on them entering. They're so low to the ground, and I've got to think that because they were like cattle herders, right? Like heelers.
Right.
So they nip at the heels of the cows to get them to move.
Correct.
Being low, I guess, would give you an advantage there. All right, we have Border Collie 603. Mixido's Ace Up My Sleeve. Ace is owned by Janet Bruner of Cedar Hills, Texas.
They say that Border Collies are probably one of the smartest dogs there is. They pick up on things, they're very agile.
They seem to be a bit independent.
Very independent.
More so than like what you were explaining, the golden retriever.
Right,
You know?
right. But that's what they're trained, that's how they're trained to herd on their own, because they're herding in front of the owner. The owner's not running right behind it.
Right.
They're off on their own. So they're a thinking breed.
Always thinking, always wanting something to do. Ace loves to work. It doesn't matter if it's conformation, herding, rally, obedience, or dock jumping. Dock diving and herding are his favorite, and he loves water as much as my Labradors. The video that they sent in of Ace was of him dock jumping. But yeah, like you said, always thinking, always moving. I love when he pops his little ears up too. Makes me think of one of my favorite movies, Babe.
Oh.
When the Border Collie is teaching the pig how to herd. Next we have Australian Shepherd, rip-roaring down Penny Lane. Penny is owned by Fran Solomon of California. So Australian Shepherds, they kind of have a similar look to the Border Collie in
Correct.
a lot of ways. Now, what are some of the main differences of the breed?
Ears, tail.
Mm-hmm.
They're both herding dogs, and they both herd very well.
I'll move her up and back, please.
Yes, the owner of Penny says that she was always ready to do something.
And around.
What color is this dog?
That would be a roan, and roan is when they have the dark markings and the marbling color as well.
So Merle, they have red Merle.
Yes.
And they also have,
I said roan. I'm sorry. It was merle.
isn't it? It's kind of it's
It's-
similar,
yeah.
right? Some colors, different breeds call them a different name.
Correct.
Now we have Border Collie, Davis Caramel Covered Cookie, Twix, owned by Ellen Davis of Muskegon, Michigan.
And those teethers.
This is a color that you don't see often with Border Collies.
No, you don't.
Twix is a rescued foster fail.
But she looks like she's in a happy home now.
Yes, Twix does a lot of different events. I know from processing events and seeing her name in a lot of things. But the video that Ellen sent in was of Twix dock jumping. Very popular sport, especially in Michigan. There's so much water. You can just tell that she's thinking about something by how
And
fast
her
her-
exuberance.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, we have Shetland Sheepdog 607, Kel's High Caliber Ruger, owned by Kathy Davidson of Cedar Point, Iowa. Ruger's favorite thing to do is therapy work, and his superpower is snuggling with people he visits. Shelties, they look like just miniature collies,
Right.
but they're not, right?
No. Their head style is totally different. Muzzle style is totally different. Ears are about the same. And size, obviously, is a big deal.
But yeah, Sheltie face and expression are just, it's hard to resist. I can imagine they get away with a lot just because they're so cute. All right, now we have Australian Shepherd 608, Treasure Time Stiletto. Stella is owned by Ellen Davis of Muskegon, Michigan. So we were talking about the different merles, and this one is a black tri.
Correct.
All right, let's see if we can see your teeth. Wait, hold
That
on.
distinctive
hold on.
blaze.
Here, Sarah, go through
Up
here.
middle of the
All right,
face.
go through those teethers.
The tan markings, tan points.
Right, making them tri. So
Go ahead and get your set back up.
in this case, white, black, and tan.
Right.
And then there's also red tri,
Right.
which is
Instead of the
white,
black,
red, and tan.
yes.
Yep.
You substitute for the red.
What Ellen said about Stella is, she's just a puppy. No fun facts yet.
What was her performance?
Yeah, I don't know. Ellen sent in a video of Stella doing nose work, so I think she
Oh.
does have some.
Yeah,
she does have
she's-
some tricks.
Right.
And fun facts.
Potential tricks, anyway.
I like how she just turns her little head to make sure that everybody's watching her. Ellen does a lot of work with her local club, Muskegon Lakeshore Obedience Training Club, MLOTC. They do agility and nose work. So I'm sure that Stella is she's going to be a star. Still just a puppy, but I mean, it's really, I can't imagine having a puppy right now, not having shows to go to. So it is important
it
to
is
go
hard,
out and
yes.
practice in your yard, practice at the park, practice everywhere you can.
Here's the other Corgi.
Yes, we have Flutter, Pembroke Welsh Corgi, Sai Maru, Yak Dig Oraz, Flutter, owned by Kathy Graves of Little Rock, Arkansas.
And see how this face, like you said, is a little less, it's not as blocky, and it's more foxy.
Yeah,
looking.
they say foxy a lot, and you can really tell.
You can see it.
You can see when you look at the
Absolutely.
Cardigan next to the Pembroke. And you know, they obviously don't have that tail. People that love corgis, they're all about that corgi butt.
Because all it does is wiggle because there's no tail. The whole butt wiggles.
Flutter likes to participate in drag racing.
I've watched this dog, interestingly enough, I watched this dog grow up from when she was a pup to now as an adult.
This is English Shepherd, 6'10", Backroads Blue Sky Danosaur.
And you hardly see any of this of English Shepherds.
English Shepherds, different than Australian Shepherds. I'm assuming just because of where the region that they're
Correct.
from. This dog is owned by Andy Reimer of Wyoming and participates in nose work. Her fun facts are she will do anything for cheese. I mean, I would too. I love cheese. Yeah, you don't see many of these, and it's interesting to see that like sable marking.
Well, you could see the make and shape of the dog, and you could see the foundation of the dog and how it looks like the other breed, but it's got characteristics that separate it almost night and day.
One being that the head, as common with, I mean, most breeds, head is kind of what makes their type, makes their breed.
It's hallmark, yes. Recognizable.
Now we have Louisiana Catahoula Leopard Dog, T-Bar S. Mayhem, May, owned by Jennifer Lancey of Sherman, Texas. May, the owner says, lives up to her name.
Oh, she may or may not?
Well, it was T-Bar S. Mayhem.
Oh, mayhem. Oh, she looks like a mayhem. Look. She looks like she's going to get in trouble.
Well, she's just looking at everything.
This breed, all colors are acceptable in this breed.
Yes, and you see all colors. We have a bunch of Catahoulas entered in this virtual Total Dog Challenge. So you will see a ton of different colors. But it's a breed that you see, they have a very active National Breed Association
Right.
with UKC, and we see a lot of Catahoulas that represent themselves at Premier every year.
And Gateway. They actually have a specialty at Gateway.
All right, next we have White Shepherd 612, Royal Classic Memento, Monty, owned by Gene Reeves of Valparaiso, Indiana. Monty Gene sent a video of Monty doing agility. Monty is a fun-loving dude, large in appearance but sweet in heart. He loves kids and is willing to be a goofball just to get attention. Monty is always willing to please and ready to work hard in anything that is asked of him. This is a white shepherd, not to be confused with the white German shepherds,
Correct.
right?
Two different style types. The white shepherd is a little more up on leg, a little more what we consider European, not sharply angled, not low to the ground. Head type is totally different.
We now have white shepherd, 613, Royal Chantilly Sunrise. Tilly, owned by Gene Reeves of Valparaiso, Indiana. Tilly also performed in agility to be entered in the virtual Total Dog Challenge. Tilly is nicknamed Miss Perfect. She is always prim and proper, as well as always trying her very best to do anything asked of her. She strives for perfection in conformation ring as well as in performance. So here we see her doing her down and back. I love the little tongue just flapping.
It's interesting to see just a pure white dog like that, and then you see the pigment of the dark eyes and the dark nose and the dark
lips.
lips.
All right, now we have Old English Sheepdog, Bazabine, Ollie Wind, Lyra Kelly, Violet, owned by Aylin Knox Collins of Washington. The owner says that she had to be shaved down because she had puppies and was the best first-time mom ever.
That's always nice to hear.
Yeah, I understand that too, having standard poodles and having puppies and not being able to show them for a while because you gotta shave them down. There's just no way around it. Rally competed in rally obedience to get into this Total Dog event. But yeah, for the Old English Sheepdogs, you normally see really big hair around the head especially. What is all that hair used for?
Protection. Protection. Protection from the weather, protection from brush and everything else that they have to tromp through to herd.
It looks like this dog, lives on a farm and probably does do some herding.
They actually have herding trials for this breed, specific for this breed.
What a sweet face. Yeah, if there's any pictures of these dogs' puppies, we'd love to see them.
Oh, yeah.
On UKC Instagram or Facebook.
Send them in, please.
All the way around.
All right, we now have Berger Picard, Pollux de Montagne, Marius, again owned by Aylin Knox Collins of Washington. Berger Picards, you may recognize them from the Because of Winn-Dixie movie. Did you ever see that movie?
No. I just recognize them because I know what they are. And if you are ever at a dog show and you say Berger Picard, the owners will be the first to correct you.
Berger. Sometimes I just like to say Berger Picker.
And this dog, one of the hallmark qualities of this dog, not only is the coat and the ears, but they have to have a J-hook tail. In other words, the tail has to be a J-hook. It can't be carried up over its back, or it can't be down. It's got to have a hook.
Marius loves to hop through tall grass like a gazelle.
I can see that.
He thinks his job at home is to protect the birds from, or the bird feeders from the birds.
From the birds, yes.
Now, if he could just learn that the birds are okay, but the squirrels are those are the real
Those
danger.
are the, yes.
Do you have any bird feeders at home?
No.
No, I don't either.
This dog looks to have just a lovely coat texture. Nice and harsh to protect it from all the elements.
I love its beard. You know, the hair around
Right.
its eyes and its face. Makes it look like it knows something. You know, like a wise old man.
And the ears are pricked, so it makes them always look at alert.
We now have White Shepherd, 616, Royal Thunderbolt Zeus. Zeus is owned by Joanne Stevnoff of Valparaiso, Indiana.
Notice the dark pigment
Beautiful.
on the lips and the gums.
Beautiful fit pigment. Especially, it's so striking against that white
Yes.
background. He has a bit shorter coat than some. You'll find a variety with these White Shepherds. Some have a little bit longer coat, some have the shorter coats.
Well, some stem from the Blanc, Suissy Blanc. The other thing that's keynote in this breed is they're supposed to have 4 black pads. So when in judging this breed, the judge should at least pick up one of the feet to make sure that all the pads are dark black.
I mean, you can see this one, how white he is.
And you could see the pigment underneath the white hair, and you can actually see the skin as dark as it is.
We now have Berger Picard, 617, Bovos Ginger Bizinger. Ginger is owned by Lisa of Bay City, Michigan.
This is my dog, I call it Bazinger. not
Bazinger.
Ginger. Again, look at the coat texture. You can see the actual harshness of the coat. It's not a soft coat.
Does it make it when they have that texture easier to groom?
Yes.
I
Because
would
if
think it
it's
doesn't
soft,
mat as much.
If it's soft and cottony, it would mat so much easier.
Ginger loves dock jumping and always talks back when I tell her to sit.
And notice the J hook, the slight hook in the tail.
Oh yes, I do see that.
Looking where the holes are.
Yeah, so she sent in a dock jumping video of Ginger.
See them ears, bud?
This is Berger Picard, 618. Bovo on the nose.
Good stat.
The Dude. Owned by Lisa Nart of Bay City, Michigan. Do you know what the Dude is referring to?
No,
The Dude Abides.
no,
Oh, you don't?
no.
It's a popular movie about
I must-
bowling.
No, I live in the sheltered world.
The Big Lebowski.
Oh, I know the Lebowski thing. But notice the hook tail.
That one's more of a hook than the last one. You know,
And there's all subtleties to it. You know, there's not one's more correct. It just has to have a J hook.
all right, we now have Old English Sheepdog, 619.
Who's in coat?
Yes, this one does have that coat. You can see the difference between that. Bosabine, Aliquin, Canberra Kelly. Canberra is owned by Barbara Learson of Washington and competed in obedience.
Look at how square that dog is. Their body's supposed to resemble a pear.
A pear?
Pear shaped.
In what way?
From the head to the back of the dog.
Oh, it
When
gets
you look
wider?
down on it looks like a pear. And the head resembles a chrysanthemum, as in the flower. You should be able to put your hand on the back skull and feel breath of back skull and breath of muzzle.
Yeah, this is one of those breeds that as a judge, I'm sure you like to get your hands on.
You have to. You have to get underneath that coat.
We saw the other one that was shaved down because she had just had puppies.
Right.
So you're able to see, you know, that width and
that
what
other
ear
shaved
set.
dog wouldn't be in competition at a dog show.
Right.
Whereas this dog would be.
Mm-hmm. Famous old English sheepdog.
Yes, that movie.
Oh, I was just gonna
Oh.
say Peter Pan. Remember? In Peter Pan. When
Oh, yeah.
They're going out the children's window and he's just barking. And he was losing his mind. We now have Australian Shepherd, Treasure Time Devotion, Rika, owned by Beth Engelmeyer, Mattawan, Michigan. Beth used to work with us at UKC
Yes.
for a long time. She was
I
club
know.
coordinator.
I know both Beth and her mom, and I've judged shows for her mom. ASCA
For
shows,
ASCA, yeah.
which is another registry.
They have been breeding Australian Shepherds for a long, long time. They're beautiful dogs. Actually, Stella, the black tribe that was already shown, was bred by Beth.
Beth is an avid kayak person.
Kayaker. She does love
She goes
kayaking.
out in weather that I wouldn't go out to walk my dog, and she's in the water.
She also does a lot of training with her dogs. Rika, she sent in a video of doing rally obedience. And she also trains in dock jumping, obedience.
These are a
just
multi-versatile breed. They can do anything.
You have to do stuff with them too. You know, they start going crazy if you don't.
Active breed.
Here we have White Shepherd, 621. Oh, I try not to botch this.
That's quite a name.
Matryoshaka is Billoy Bragdy. Sorry about
mouthful.
that. Owned by Taylor Gracie of Elkhart, Indiana.
I believe I just had this dog at a dog show.
Yeah, so you have you've judged a few shows.
I've seen a lot of these dogs.
I mean, you judged a few shows since
Oh, the COVID.
since,
Yes.
yeah, quarantine and things. What is it like? I haven't been to a dog show since the Ohio Classic.
We have strict requirements for the dog show in all the varieties or all the registries that I've judged. And those restrictions generally depend on the government or the area in which you're judging the dog show at. But face masks are worn, and there's an in entrance and out entrance. You keep social distancing. It's very interesting, but it works. And very fortunate that all the exhibitors, because they want to come back to dog shows, they tend to go along with the program.
Yeah, I think, the attesting to wanting to participate with their dogs, play with their dogs. Again, the number of dogs that have entered, this group has 39 entries.
Yes. They needed a place to go. They needed something to do. They were just tired of staying at home.
Yeah, I'm so blessed that we were able to do something and to be able to get these dogs out there.
To give them that outlet, yes.
All right, we now have White Shepherd, 622, Blaze of Wildwood, Sundance. Again, owned by Taylor Gracie. Sundance participates in agility. I believe I saw this dog at the Ohio Classic. I was just talking about that being my last dog show.
And I think I just saw this dog last weekend.
Sundance, 622, is the most over-the-top loving dog in the house.
You can just tell how she's focused on her.
Well, I mean, she must have a lot of focus because she trains in agility, obedience, rally, and she swims as well.
Look at how pretty that is.
We have Czechoslovakian Vlcak.
And this is a dog you hardly see.
Well, there's a few entered here
What
today.
you see a lot in Michigan. When I judge in Michigan, I
This
see
one
a lot
is
of them.
Pardal of Marvelwood, Haku, owned by Cherise of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
There you go. Very wolf. These are Czechoslovakian wolf dogs, they call them. And it's interesting when you enter the ring with this breed and you look at them, you could see the feralness of the dog.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
And you can see the strongness. They look not at you, but through you. All very
imagine.
loving, all very, very, very nice dogs.
All right, this is 624 Czechoslovakian Vlcak. Greyfair's Ashria.
Look at the expression. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, I see
It
what you
just goes
see.
right through you. But they're beautiful, beautiful coats. Just beautiful.
I love the agouti pattern. Is that what it's
Yes.
called? This dog is owned by Jingo of San Pedro, California, and sent a video in of lure coursing.
Well, I bet you would be good at lure coursing because of the focus on this breed. See how it looks at you when it even comes at you? Beautiful pattern in the code.
See its long stride.
And it's very distinct in its movement and foot placement.
Yeah, it moves kind of like a wild dog.
Right. There's a reason for why that foot is being placed there.
This is Czechoslovakian Vlcak 625. Edox Miracle Mia at Greyfair. Sirik, owned by Jingo of San Pedro, California, who sent in a video of this dog participating in nose work.
I bet you there's a lot of shedding going on in her house.
Yes.
Even look at the teeth. Look at the size of those teeth. She was just showing the bite.
You know, you have so many breeds as a judge, Stan. You have so many breeds that you're in charge of knowing and understanding. How did you, what was the first thing that you considered when deciding that you wanted to become a judge? Or not consider, or what you think other people should consider?
Well, a lot of times judging is just a progression. I always say it's a progression. It's like A follows B follows C follows D, and the majority of our judges were breeders and are still breeders. There are a lot of judges that still actively breed and campaign dogs. A lot of our judges were professional handlers, like myself. So we would be paid to show people's dogs, all different breeds. And it's just a progression. Our bodies start to break down, so when we can't run around any longer, we start to point.
All right, this
Here,
is
look at the expression.
Czechoslovakian Vlcak Esper. N. Enra III Z. Penowski.
Wow.
Again, owned by Jingo.
See the size of those teeth?
Big teeth.
Yes.
This dog participated in rally obedience. Wow, that really shows, you know, we have five Czechoslovakian Vlcaks entered, and they're participating in lure coursing, nose work, rally.
It shows they're multifaceted. They can do more than just one thing.
I'm sure this is a breed too. I mean, they're not very popular, but I'm sure that they're another one you want to keep active because, like you said, you know, they're big.
Thinking, yes, they're the thinking breed.
And sometimes when dogs think and they don't have a whole lot to do,
They get in trouble.
Thinking isn't the best thing for
Right.
your goods and your home.
Holes in walls and holes in bedspreads and mattresses
Exactly.
and sofas.
All right,
Look at the size of this dog.
We now have, again, another Czechoslovakian Vlcak, Drake Dark Star Amit Grizz. Ronin. Owned by Jingo, San Pedro, California.
You know, I was just out there, not just out there, but I was out there recently. And I believe
California?
I saw a whole bunch of these. And I think they were probably hers. And they were all really pretty breed type. A little noisy at times, being in their crates, you know, waiting for their turn to be shown. But all under control.
What do you mean when you say breed type?
Breed type. Each breed has a parent club, which decides and tells you exactly what that breed should look like. That's breed type. What's the difference between an Irish setter and a Yorkshire Terrier? Breed type.
Or like we were saying, Irish setter or Gordon setter.
Correct. Breed type. And this is really decent breed type. She's got quite a few nice dogs. And you could see just by her sending in the videos that she just doesn't do one thing. She's multifaceted,
Yeah,
which
these
is
are
what UKC loves.
All total dogs.
And here's the German Shepherd. And note the difference between breed type of this dog in make and shape and the White Shepherd.
Yes.
So if you held a sheet in front of that dog and put a spotlight behind, just by silhouette alone, you should be able to determine whether it's a German Shepherd or a White Shepherd. And see what I mean? How it's a little lower, a little more slinkier, a little more angled.
Yeah, this is German Shepherd 628. Alta Tallhouse Victor. Owned by Pamela Piggott of Arizona. Victor participates in rally obedience.
These are such smart dogs.
Yeah, we were saying, like protection work. Victor has an IPO 3 title, but is also a therapy dog and attends church with me each week. If only, Pamela says, if only everyone did things with this dog's level of enthusiasm.
Oh, yes. Dog show people we make fun of all the time because they're not what we call active churchgoers, because there's always a dog show on Sunday. So I think this dog probably out-trumps most dog show people by going to church.
Probably.
But you could see the keenness, the intelligence. See how that dog's just thinking? And it just yawned, but it's thinking.
There we go. Okay. All right, good.
All right, we now have German Shepherd 629. Bear Berlin Dora von Perez. Bear is owned by Bernice Perez of Brookfield, Illinois. And Bernice said that Bear is a very active dog who loves to play ball all day. He enjoys working with his bite sleeve, but also enjoys rally and obedience work. He's tried lure coursing, and he enjoys that as well. So, bite sleeve?
Bite sleeve. In protection, they teach dogs when the bad guy comes up, the trainer or the person has a sleeve or a suit that the dog can actually bite without injuring that person. And they train the dog to do that. It's called bite work. And what's interesting, even when you play with a German Shepherd and you're playing ball and the dog takes the ball, you can see, or I can tell by the breed, the different tension that the dog puts on you in getting the ball and the bite. And there's a difference between a German Shepherd and, say, a Golden Retriever.
Right, and when you're talking about bite points of contact and things like that, those retrievers, a lot of times people will say, oh, they have a soft mouth, and
they
for that
train
reason.
them. They train them with eggs. They take a raw egg and roll it on the ground. The dog should be able to pick it up and bring it back to the owner. And when they field hunt those retrievers, they don't want the dogs to puncture the bird. That's why they have what they call the soft mouth.
Soft mouth. All right, moving on, we have Catahoula Leopard dog. Seuss's Trekker. Trek is owned by Amanda Teakin of Spring Lake, Michigan.
And again, notice, any color.
Any color for these Catahoulas.
Any color.
Merle is a popular one, but it doesn't.
And
it
it's
really
not
doesn't
all
matter.
Merle. Look at the body.
Amanda, the Trek's owner.
Look at how cute that is.
Little head tilt.
Yeah, with the ears.
But she participates in a number of UKC activities. She's a big UKC supporter. She does a lot of weight pull. So this dog, and I think maybe all of the dogs that she entered a couple of dogs.
Do they pull weight?
Mm-hmm. They do weight pull.
This is just a great dog. They do a lot of things for their owners.
Yeah, and she said that Truck was the top pulling Catahoula as ranked by the United LCLD Club.
Wow.
For 2018
Wow.
and 2019. Again, another Louisiana Catahoula Leopard dog, or people often say Catahoula. J. Cross Halo. Halo, again, owned by Amanda Teakin of Spring Lake, Michigan.
And notice the blue eyes on this dog.
Yeah, is that because of the merle coloring?
Probably.
Just like places where pigment isn't there. Drama was the number 4 UKC Catahoula in 2017 and won top 10 best of breed. Her sire won top 10 best of breed for dogs ranked in 2009. This is the second parent offspring in the breed and the first father-daughter to do this.
Wow. See, again, it shows that UKC people, they tend to do more than just showing their dog in conformation. They do everything. And I think that's just so wonderful because the dog is actively working with the owner.
And we're saying doing everything, like this total dog philosophy, dogs that do more. Any color. This is also a Catahoula.
Right.
This is J. Cross Warrior River Balder. Balder owned by Amanda Teakin.
So again, it looks like she owns several of these dogs. And for her to do what she's doing, that's a lot of time and effort. I mean, she's just not showing 3 or 5 or 6 dogs in conformation. She's doing all other activities as well to make the total dog. So that's a lot of time she's putting in teaching these dogs, working with these dogs, and you do it daily.
I misspoke though. This one is Halo.
Oh.
This is J. Cross Halo.
But it's the same owner.
Same owner, Amanda Teakin.
Yeah. And look at how happy they are. They're all happy.
But yeah, it's a lot of practice,
It's
a lot
just
of work.
a lot. Oh, here, look.
This is Balder.
Okay.
Warrior River Balder, owned by Amanda Teakin. Spring Lake, Michigan. But yeah, my goodness. I can't imagine the amount of time it took for her to take all of these videos of her dog's conformation.
Just doing this, and then...
And weight pull.
Absolutely. And you just don't take your dog out and hook them to a harness and make them pull weights. You have to train the dog to do that. They have to get used to that harness, first of all. Mm-hmm. Because if you put a harness on a normal dog, it'll stop and freeze. It won't want to walk.
Well, once they start walking and they feel that weight, they're like, oh, it's time to sit.
Absolutely, I'm not working. So it's great. It's just great. I can't tell you. That's one of the things that attracted me to UKC. The difference between other registries in UKC, the total dog.
Absolutely. So
here's
this,
another white shepherd.
This is a white German shepherd.
Okay.
So that's what we were saying, the differences between those. This is White Star's Nirvana at Atlas, Zen, owned by Tracy Karstens of Rogers, Minnesota.
Oh, I know Tracy.
Tracy is a UKC judge.
Yes. Notice the angle is a little more extreme than the white shepherd.
Yeah, a bit more angulation.
Yes. And they even track different. They even run different. They run more in the slinkier motion than a White Shepherd. A White Shepherd, because of the lack of angles that the white German Shepherd has, they move in a different plane, so to speak.
Yeah, they kind of crouch a little bit is what you're
Right,
trying to say.
slinky. I always refer to German Shepherd as slinky.
Slinky,
Because they're a little over the ground, because of the angle. Look at the angle.
So this dog, Zen, the video of Zen for performance is dock jumping, but she also competes in agility as well.
I bet it would make a wonderful agility dog.
Like you said, being able to move at a low angle,
Right.
it helps them turn corners faster.
Now, here's a German Shepherd. Just paint it white and you had the dog before it.
Yeah, this is Bliss, Atlas Blissful Feeling, German Shepherd owned by Tracy Christians of Rogers, Michigan. Bliss was the only girl in her litter and still thinks she's the #1 girl around the house. She's 4th generation of UKC top 10 GSDs. She's the happiest playing Frisbee. She has titles in agility, rally, obedience, dock jumping, stunt dog and trick dog, and more.
And here she's baiting your dog to show the attentiveness.
I love when this dog moves. It's just, it wags its tail so big when it's
And it
going.
just flows. Fluid motion.
Pretty hard. You can tell that it's a female when you look at her.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also tell that she likes the attention.
Oh, yeah.
She is working that camera.
Absolutely. Mouth, front incisors, sides, full dentition, and the other side.
Another one of America's popular breeds,
Yes.
GSD. If you have one at home, take a picture. Hashtag UKC Virtual Premiere,
We'd love to see them.
Facebook and Instagram. We have White Shepherd, 636, Hoofprint Inferno, Torch, owned by Aaron Bree Sweeney of Ontario, Canada. Again, it's so cool to see all of the places that people were sending their videos
I was just
from.
going to say that. It's so interesting to see the quote-unquote foreign dogs. We just didn't have dogs from the U.S. We had dogs from all over the country, all over the
Over the
borders.
world.
Yes.
We have some dogs from Finland coming up in the next group. But this is Torch. The owner says, Torch brings a zest for life everywhere he goes. He's always up for the chance to have the zoomies. He tries to bring the biggest stick home from the trails every
I'm
time.
Sure. It's funny to watch dogs that carry sticks, and sometimes the stick is larger than a dog, and they try to get through a gate and they get stuck.
I always love it when you're at a dog show and there's a dog that's carrying its ribbon. And
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
It's so fun.
Especially the group ribbon with the big rosettes.
Oh, yeah. It's so fun.
And they're smiling.
They know they did a good job. Pretty freestack.
Yeah,
Just walked right into that.
So that doesn't come naturally. You have to train your dog to do that. Obviously, there's been time and effort put in this dog.
All right, we have Catahoula, Tassos, Crimea River. River is owned by Bethany Sanders of Tracy, California. River loves the water and enjoys playing in the sprinklers. She's a typical Catahoula, loves to hunt, tree squirrels and raccoons. I love taking her to our National Breed Club trials in Louisiana. Bethany does such a good job with her Catahoulas. She and her mom, they've had Catahoulas for a while, and Bethany is just a really great, patient handler with her dogs.
She loves her dogs, and her dogs are so very in tune to her. It's always a pleasure to see her at a dog show.
Always big smiles from Bethany.
Okay, down and back.
And she always has to come over and say hi, which is always nice.
I love it when people come say hi. Man, out in California, I could be out under those sunny palm trees.
Go right outside. Look at
Beautiful
the expression.
head and expression, yes. She put that, got his ears up. Or her ears up, sorry.
And interestingly enough, look at the markings on that dog, which only enhances the quality of this dog and the make and shape. The white accentuates the length
The long
of neck.
yeah, exactly. I
The
think
good
the rear,
angle in the shoulder.
I think the rear too.
Yes, and the way the rear is solid. Pretty free stack.
Really pretty.
Good balance.
Beautiful top line.
And I'd use this dog.
Okay, we have German Shepherd dog, 638. Bryn-like von der Dreist, Noco, owned by Margaret Charpin of Lake Villa, Illinois. Noco participates in rally obedience. It's probably where
It's pretty
Where he
stacked there.
trains.
Look at that. And folks, I mean, you could tell where the owners actually work with these dogs. I mean, they just don't do this. They don't come out of the bun doing this, the oven doing this. They're actually trained to do this. That's very pretty.
I love how shiny that coat is.
Yes.
Wonder what they feed the dog.
Probably, but you can do that. That is very shiny.
I know, it is
I mean-
really shiny coat.
It's like shoe
Oh,
polish.
wait, where'd they
shiny.
go? Where we at?
Oh, up.
Okay, here we go. Back on the down and back. She knows what I do. Normally for my down and back, I try to go really slow because my dogs like to go in
Fast-
all directions.
Fast isn't always good.
All about control with those down and backs.
That's a very lovely conditioned dog.
And then let me, hold on.
By condition, you're talking about the muscling, weight, coat.
Everything. Everything is counted in on that.
Okay, we now have Border Collie. Look out, a Scamper. Ace, owned by Christy Scamper of Wisconsin. Ace is a UKC Confirmation Grand Champion, Weight Pull Champion Excellent, has 2 UKC championships in dock jumping, and also has titles in agility, obedience, rally, lure coursing, and precision coursing.
Remarkable. But these are easy trainable dogs. You just have to put the time into training them.
I've seen Christy working with her Border Collies a lot in our UKC major events.
Yeah.
Always going for that total dog, prove that her dog can be in that confirmation ring and be out in those performance events.
Just not another pretty face.
See the attention that Border Collie gives her.
Very intense.
Huge entry.
So let's check in with Tracy and see what she's chosen.
Wow, the herding group was huge. Lots of beautiful dogs, strong contenders in this group. The group 1 for me went to number 637, the Catahoula. Group 2, 609, Pembroke Welsh Corgi. Group 3, 612, the White Shepherd. And the Cardigan Welsh Corgi was the group 4. Sarah Catahoula, beautiful, beautiful bitch. Moderate. She wasn't houndy or bulldoggy in any way. She was slightly longer than tall. Correct dimensions for her elbow to the ground versus the wither to the ground, which the elbow to the ground should be about 50 to 60% of the height of the wither to the ground. Very correct in her structure and her build. Her head's powerful. It lacked exaggeration, which is a good thing. She had beautiful piercing blue eyes, although eye color is equally acceptable in any color in this breed. Her gait was smooth, fluid, effortless. She was balanced. Her reach, she had adequate reach and drive. Neither were exaggerated in any way. Her down and back was very clean. She had no turning of the legs in or out, no crossing over, no interference of movement. She was overall just a really smooth, well put together bitch, and I was honored to judge the herding group. Lots of gorgeous dogs, but again, Group 1 went to 6 through 7 in Catahoula.
Congratulations to River and Bethany Sanders of California. She's so nice. I love Bethany, and I'm glad to see her win.
And her Catahoula is going on to our Best in Show Total Dog.
Yes, and don't forget that all of our placement winners today are going to receive a prize package from Eukanuba. We'd like to thank Eukanuba for being our performance dog nutrition partner. Sporting dogs give us everything we ask and then some. Their nutrition should do the same.
It's really getting exciting, and it's coming down to the wire. When we come back, we're going to take a look at our Terrier and Companion group.